to that victory over Real Madrid for Villa here at Anfield. And after that game against Madrid, I did not think I'd be stood here outside Anfield talking about Liverpool's struggles, but that's how it's turned out, because obviously they followed up those two wins with a 3-0 defeat against Manchester City, and again after the international break, that 3-0 defeat at home to Nottingham Forest. That defeat to Forest actually makes it 2 defeats in the last 3 home league games for them. It's 6 Premier League defeats in the first 12 games of the season for Liverpool as well. Those 6 defeats coming in their last 7 league games. And it's such a disappointing way for their season to be going, given the success that they had in lifting the title, of course, last campaign. In contrast, of course, we know that this evening against PSV Eindhoven, they have the opportunity to register their 3rd consecutive Champions League victory. They've actually won 15 of their last 17 group stage games as well, Liverpool.
League form and their Premier League form, perhaps?
I think the Champions League is not as physical, not as rust and bust as the Premier League. I think you get a little bit more time on the ball. I think the transitions are a little bit less, and I think the players that has come in are more used to that kind of football.
Right.
The Premier League has gone a little bit more the other way, more physical than last year, more set pieces, more long throw-ins. We always know that the Premier League is very athletic, very. And I think Liverpool at the moment, I'm missing that, and that's the difference.
Yeah, and obviously.
And that he is the boss, especially towards the players. I think that he has got more time, a lot more time. Liverpool is not really a club that sacks managers easily. But obviously, we are in a result kind of business. And there will come a point that something needs to turn and something needs to click. At the moment in the Premier League, it doesn't look like things are clicking, things are working. What is his best team? How do they stop goals going in? I think in every match now in the Premier League, or majority of the match since Villa, they've conceded goals.
And 3.
Yeah. And last year, they had so many clean sheets. And we all know you're not going to be successful if you can't keep clean sheets. So for me, that is the start of the problems. And I think there are too many stars. There are too many players who want the ball. There's only one. You know, last year they were all playing for Salah. Now, Isak wants the ball, Salah wants the ball, Wirtz wants the ball, Etiquette wants the ball. You know, and they want to finish. I think it's a little bit too much. You know, I think choices have to be made.
Okay. What do they need to get right tonight,
Well,
Dave?
I think a lot of the story around Liverpool so far has been how do they manage to gel all of these new players? Is Arne Slot getting the mix right? Is he getting the system right? Are the tactics right on a game-by-game basis? But yesterday on the Premier League show, we did a little piece on essentially Liverpool needing to get the basics right. And when we talk about the basics, we're talking about winning your duels. And we had a graphic last night where the lowest percentage of duels won, the lowest 4 games were all defeats for Liverpool. They need to up those figures. Basics, again, defending set pieces. It's 9 goals conceded from set pieces by Liverpool this season, which is the joint most along with West Ham and Nottingham Forest. And they are obviously at the wrong end of the table. Concentrate from set pieces. And tonight, we're going to talk about starting the game well. And I think we saw a little preview of this one earlier, but Liverpool have conceded 4 times in the first 15 minutes of games. 2 minutes against Manchester United, 5 minutes against Brentford, 14 minutes against Chelsea this season. And they're also conceding goals just after half-time as well. 4 goals in the 15 minutes after half-time. And I think from Liverpool's perspective, the message from Arne Slot needs to be, start the game well. Concentrate, do your jobs, get yourself into the game, and then we can play from there. Is that a message as a manager that you give to players?
Yeah, you always say that. You always say that at the start.
Does it need reiterating though sometimes?
It must be said. It must be said in a different way. You know, it's just not as simple. Okay, guys, let's start the match properly. It's focus. It's okay. Let's do this and this. Let's try to play in their half first for the first 10 minutes, and not take any chances in our defensive third. Let's get up the pitch in the first 10 minutes and get our confidence over there. Might be little things like that. And at halftime, you do the same. The first 10 minutes, let's go there. Let's keep that ball there. Let's play in their half. So you can change it a little bit with different kind of words instead of just always say, come on guys, let's start well. What does that mean? Let's start well. What are we going to do? That's easily said, isn't it? So if you give them a plan, a specific plan, this is what we're doing in the first 10 minutes. And we are not playing backwards, we are playing only forwards. Yeah. So it might help.
I think it might. Okay, stay with us.
Liverpool head into Wednesday's Champions League clash with PSV under enormous pressure, not only for 3 points, but as an urgent test of Arne Slot's capacity to steady a squad beset by injuries, tactical drift and waning confidence. The immediate headlines are stark. Florian Wirtz has been ruled out after missing training with a muscular issue sustained on international duty, while both right-backs remain unavailable, forcing Slot into makeshift defensive options on the flank. Those absences shape everything from selection to structure. Formally, Liverpool still sit in a winnable position in the group, but the domestic slide, capped by a damaging 0-3 home loss to Nottingham Forest, has dented morale and sharpened scrutiny on Slot's methods. The manager has publicly accepted responsibility and admitted the slump is ridiculous, underlining how fragile confidence is in the dressing room ahead of this Anfield test. Expect clear evidence of that pressure in the team's intensity and decision-making. Tactically, the challenge is twofold. First, slotting replacements into the right-back role without compromising attacking impetus. Mainstream previews suggest Dominic Szoboszlai or Joe Gomez could be deployed to cover the void, which would alter the usual patterns of width and crossing that feed Mohamed Salah and the front line. Second, restoring a midfield spine that wins second balls and accelerates transitions. A quicker tempo into the final third is the most realistic route to freeing Salah and creating higher value chances for the centre forwards. Selection questions will dominate headlines. Most outlets predict a front three built around Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo, with Hugo Ekitike or Alexander Isak competing for the central role depending on match fitness and recent form. With Isak's minutes under review after recent matches, Slot may prefer the sharper running and link play of Ekitike to unsettle PSV's defensive shape. Whoever starts must provide movement and verticality to punish PSV on the counter or from quick switches. From PSV's perspective, this is no meek visitor. They arrive organized, quick through transitions and comfortable pressing in narrow pockets. That style will test Liverpool's ball circulation and their ability to protect space behind rushed fullback rotations. For Slot, the balance is delicate: protect the back line but remain incisive going forward. Practically, Liverpool need controlled aggression, clearer passing lanes towards Salah's feet, and sharper set-piece organization, small adjustments that could flip the outcome of a tight Champions League night at Anfield. If Liverpool win, the victory will provide breathing space and a vital psychological reset. If they fail, the mounting pressure on tactics, recruitment decisions, and the manager himself will intensify dramatically.